Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. New voice, Annihilation Overwatch, lower bracket matchup coming on in. We are going through the playoffs as we see Hive taking on the vicious Vanguard for a spot to make it even further, punch their ticket in for what you'd imagine would be maybe the lower final, maybe the lower semifinal. We'll have to wait and see what is upon us, but right now we just kind of take a little bit of a gander, receive match on, and this is going to be a best of 5 series, so lots of opportunities able to make your mark within the series. We'll have to just kind of bide our time, see what these teams do have in store for us, as we are going to be starting off on the map of Esperanza to get us into a good starting place for tonight. You know, imagine both teams looking to start off strong on the front foot, but we will just have to wait and see. Ilios is going to be our opening map, as I kind of just said something completely random for some reason. Don't know why, don't know how, but it did happen. I like Esperanza and I like Ilios. I like Eichenwald, I like Dorado. A lot of normal maps within the pool. Nothing too curveballish, as you know, usually are going to see that King's Row come out, but it seems like the teams are going to be adapting more of a simple style, I guess, as not going to go for the tried and true. Instead, going to go for just kind of that second map that people usually will traditionally pick if the King's Row isn't their forte, or if they aren't as proud of the selection as some of their other maps could possibly be. We'll have to wait and see what they do end up opting in for. Obviously, there's going to be a couple more possibilities in the chances. The compositions are what these teams are going to look towards. I mean, on Ilios, you kind of look towards the higher levels of play in regions like Korea. You do traditionally see heroes like that wrecking ball coming through. I don't believe we're going to be seeing that. Maybe they will throw in the curveball, but I really doubt that either team is going to be prepared enough to be able to find success on a character with such a high skill ceiling and such a low skill floor. But we'll have to wait and see what they do end up going for. I'd imagine both teams are going to look towards the Hazard, are going to look towards the Erasa. We are going to be seeing the bans going through right about now, so I'd imagine they're going to try and go for bans based on what the other team is comfortable with, as that is usually how these divisions tend to operate. Going for the meta picks doesn't usually seem to be the option. A lot of teams will end up going for. Instead, they look to really just kind of move towards whatever kind of their opponents seem to be looking to lock in, as we will just have to wait and see. Right now, though, we are just going to keep biding our time, waiting, finding what could be the success. And I don't know. I like the idea of possibly running the Hazard. Hazard's been pretty strong in the meta. Orisa, similar situation. Recently, we have been getting. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, actually. Yeah, whatever. Recently, we have been getting our government-mandated Mauga nerfs, or Mauga buffs, sorry. So, who knows? Maybe teams will take advantage of that, as with Mauga getting a 6% ultimate reduction, certainly going to make him a little bit more stable within the meta compared to before, where yes, he was certainly good, but he wasn't like the best character ever and ever and ever. Now he's definitely going to be a little bit towards that selection of, yep, you're going to want to run Mauga no matter what. But we are just going to have to wait and see. I don't know. I kind of expect to see, okay, yeah, we're going to be getting the bans coming on now. Freya does get taken off the board already. So the first ban is going to be seen. Freya's down. Neither team going to be able to lock that in, which makes sense. You usually are going to ban out something like the Freya, as there's just so much potency when it comes to the character. The strength is always going to be there, and it's really not something you want to work against if you are playing this kind of competitive scene. It really can be a detriment to have to go against it if you're not familiar with the character as much as your enemy is. That's also going to be marking out any options to be able to lock in the DPS class as the ban. So we'll see what the response is. Only getting the chance to ban out a support or a tank. You'd imagine that there is going towards the tank role, as the support is going to be a little bit less commonly taken off the board. Diva is going to be taken out. A little bit of an interesting ban. Yes, Diva is strong, but Diva is definitely not the character that you really expect to be kind of that tide turner. We will just have to wait and see, though. As yes, there is still going to be a little bit of options. I'm going to look towards the Mauga still. I imagine that both teams are going to be locking towards that Sojourn, Genji, Tracer, as those are the three main characters we've been seeing in the meta popping up time and time again. The support line likely just going to be that mirrored Kiriko and the Lucio. Obviously, with recent buffs, Ana's become a lot stronger with the major perk moving up from 1.5 times multiplier on the headshot to 2 times multiplier on the headshot. Certainly going to be making it seem as if Ana's going to be a real playmaker to look towards. I'm not sure whether or not teams are going to be looking at that when choosing their agents, but you'd definitely see that as an option, especially on a map like Ilios, where especially on the map of Well, Hog is going to be really viable, and when it comes down to it, Ana's a strong counter into the Hog. But we are going to be getting on to map number 1. We're going to be starting out on the Lighthouse. I'd like to see what these two teams have in store for us. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of options available for both teams. But as we do get into the selections right about now, we're going to be getting to see what these two teams have introduced to us. I mean, I couldn't tell you what we are going to be seeing, but we are going to get to go and know what that is in just a second. And it is kind of what you'd imagine. We're going to be seeing possibly a Sombra to be locked in, which would certainly be a bit of a curveball. Not the most traditional pick for sure, but running it with a bit of a full dive composition could be fruitful. Instead, looking towards the Cassidy, going to be locking in a bit of a hit scan. And we actually are going to be seeing this blue side locking towards, I don't know if our producer can let me know, but if we could get the names for both sides, that would be lovely. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. Okay. Anyway, so we are just going to be looking, and we are going to be seeing Hive on the blue side, Vicious Vanguard taking their chance on the red side, as we're going to actually be seeing the Ana Brig lock in for the Vicious Vanguard. At this point, we do see Hive looking to stage towards an aggressive dive, going up to try and challenge the Hazard up towards the high ground. Shield comes in immediately. Murder for fun, going to be able to shut down Kyle. We see the Suzu instantly popped into action. The Mauga down to a little bit of a low HP line, but the dive comes in from Bizarre to follow up. With Ana there to be able to mitigate the damage. Hive is going to be stuck in a bit of a rough situation as the Vicious Vanguard needing to regroup, already losing the point. Hive is going to be in a strong position after this first fight. You see the dive up towards the high ground. Flashbang comes in, unable to connect onto Bizarre. There's the antibiotic grenade as well, going to be shut down as the shield will be able to take the front of the utility. We're going to be looking towards the Hive to be able to keep this in their favor, and Estropolis able to find the first. Frosty Dolph down. Zim's actually going to be able to find the follow-up, taking down Vicious Vanguard, as Bold Vibes is also going to fall. We see Flashbang coming out once more. Bizarre going to be dropping to 300 HP. They have the barrier back up. That might be something they're going to look towards. We see the Wrecking Ball swap in action, going back over to the Hazard, deliberating their options. We are seeing Zim force out of a recall, going to be going back on into the fray. So right now, we see everyone locking around as everyone's towards the side of the map. Could be inevitable. Right now, we're just going to be seeing Hive keeping this point alive. As the Winston jumping over towards the point, able to put down Cold Vibes. Bizarre going to be able to find one. Suzu out. Zim finds another. Sortok down. That's going to be leaving Murdered for Fun, being able to find the tank. Stroliot able to get shut down, and that's leaving Hive with 65%. Vicious Vanguard almost securing the point for a little bit, but unfortunately, when it comes down to it, not able to collect in the end. Hive having a lot of ultimates towards that's online status, as 2 of them are going to be already up, and then 2 are close as well. We see the swap over towards the Tracer. And diving up towards the high ground. Going to be a real strong start from Vicious Vanguard. Able to find 2 off the back. And at this point, Kyle with a double kill. Going to be making it look like this game could be theirs to take. And yeah, slowly bringing it back up. A good stagger onto Bizarre. And Vicious Vanguard not going to be closed out just yet. The full 100-0 not going to be available for the Hive squad. But they are coming back with 4 ultimates online. They did not invest into that last fight at all. So now that they're coming on into the next with a lot of utility in the bank, it could be good. Kyle's going to be the win con. If they can get the Dragon Blade online, that could be a strong starter for them, but we'll have to wait and see. We see the Jedi locked in, as well as that Kiriko dropping in the rush. Going to try to get something. Frosty Dolphin has to find one. Estrella taken out as well. Bizarre going to be going back on it to spray. 4 down, 5 down. Hive going to take the point, likely taking the game, as the Vicious Vanguard going to have to really jump for the hills with only 7% needed. Hive is just going to look to play very aggressive close on in. We see the Dragon Blade active. 3 seconds remaining. No touch available as Hive takes the first point with very dominant possession, as only losing one fight certainly going to be looking very, very nice.
Ready for battle.
Well, what can you do? Well, just wait and see what they got in store for us. Hive's looking good. That's to say the least. They definitely seem like a team that has that potential. Their dives have been coordinated. They've been able to really focus up that back line, and it's worked pretty fruitful for them.
1. Round 2.
And now, not many swaps going to be seen. We are going to be seeing Vicious Vanguard taking off that Ana with the break that they look to go towards. And I don't know if it was the fact that they weren't really able to neutralize their opponents, especially the Winston, with the whip shot, or why they're going to be taking that competition off the board. But we are going to be seeing Astaroth pushing towards the right side. Cage seen. First kill is going to be there. Vicious Vanguard taking possession early on as the double kill comes in for the Reaper. Bizarre going to be able to take down Cold Vibes. And they want to get a second. They will be able to collect. It's going to be a 3v2 situation now, as Frosty Dolph is going to be off the board. Hive going to be in a bit of a rough situation as Astrolot going to be going up once more, looking to find an aggressive stand. But right now, Cleanse comes in immediately. Hive keeping alive. We're going to be seeing the flashbang going to be able to at least slightly lose the HP. But currently, we're going to be seeing Frosty Dolph down for the count. Going in way too far, but Astrolot going to be possibly taken off the board as they did get a little bit greedy. It's going to be Hive to fall down once more. Vicious Vanguard taking this aggressive stand. 20% already seen. Astrolot going to be pushed up heavily, but right now it's going to be Kyle. Gone in for a little bit of an ult charge, as last game they were having a bit of a difficulty getting that online. This time going to be a very different story as they keep this up. 36% already gained. We see them swapping to the Reaper, and it's certainly paying out dividends as it's allowed them to really be able to regain themselves, and they've been able to conform to the current meta, and it makes them look a little bit better. Oh, and a great, oh my god, the pull spawn after the Kitsune comes on out, and without the cleanse, they had no real way of being able to mitigate the pulse, and it led to a double kill. Vicious Vanguard's gonna fall down. Hive takes the point once more. Certainly looking good after that fight. A bit of damage coming in already. Hive going to be in a pretty good situation to keep the point on the line for themselves. Primal Rage is going to be available. Zimit finding the first. Going for a bit of a fight towards the cage. Going to be using this Jericho as a bit of an outlier. And right now, Death Blossom is going to be able to find one. Kyle down the count. 1-for-1 trade as we are going to be seeing the beat coming online from Vicious Vanguard. Going to be able to find 4 players with that and give them that capable pressure. Escalon going to be going into Primal Rage as the HP drops. Going to be forcing this creep to a bit of a rough situation and might cost them their life. But right now, Escalon switching targets. Zimit going to be the one to find their doom. Kyle's going to be able to find the next as the last player will fall. 54%. This Vanguard, they're going to leave him with only that. As we are going to be seeing, oh yeah, that's going to go. Frosty Dolph getting a little bit too antsy, and it will be causing a stagger for the Hive squad. 70%. At this point, Hive, they cannot lose a single fight if they want to be able to win this game. But that is just going to be the case, as we are going to be seeing Zar dropping towards the high ground, looking to make something happen. They need to get some good kill parts priority, as If you allow Kyle to get a good ult off, it could be a big detriment. After all, it's going to be already at a low HP line. Zimmett, first one to fall. Through the dash, Kyle finds success. Going for the blade, able to find it. Feet comes in barely, almost going to Ajax. Thankfully not. Kyle's going to have to try and find somebody to target onto, but unfortunately the Dragon Blade will be inevitably relinquished. Kyle's going in very heavily, but right now they are going to be forced into a bit of a relinquish. Thorax with a bad ultimate, unfortunately, as they are going to have to regroup. They use their guard cover to be able to regain their shots as they get the reload off, and right now Hive is just going to be able to bring back 60% gain. Bizarre finds one, Zimmett finds the next, full 5's down for the count. It's going to leave Hive with 65%, needing to get 35 without losing a single fight. Vicious Vanguard, they make some swaps. They're going to be moving over Kyle to the Pharah off the Genji, and as their opponents have no more hit scan, it certainly could be a swap that could cause a little bit of a rough situation for the Hive squad, to say the least. We'll have to wait and see what the inevitable plan is going to be, but Kyle instantly going to be targeted by this Winston, taken down. Bizarre going to be able to find the first. Taking the Kyle offline, certainly going to be a big boost for them as we do see the Death Blossom coming on in. Bizarre, they have the Primal Rage, going to be investing it easily. Right now, going on in. Zimmett going to be able to find the next. There's both supports off the line. Going to be the next to fall. Bizarre with a double kill from the Primal Rage. Going to be targeting the Pharah next, as they are going to be getting the refresh on their left shift, diving straight on into the battlefield. Hive a little bit closer than the last game, but it is still going to be them going forward. A 2-0 dominant victory in match number 1.
Play of the game.
Certainly strong start. I mean, moving over to Eichenwald for game number 2. We'll see whether or not they'll be able to change something up, but right now Hive just seems to be a little bit stronger. They're a bit of a cohesive unit. Eichenwald favoring the dive a little bit less than a map like Ilios, but certainly going to have the opportunities, especially towards that second point, where it becomes a little bit more viable than one would originally imagine. We'll have to wait and see, though, as there's certainly going to be time for both teams. I don't know. Maybe we go to a break, maybe we don't go to break. We'll have to wait and see, as teams are still going to be deliberating on what they are going to choose for this next game. And yeah, they're already going for the bans for map number 2. I'd imagine, I mean, I don't think in this tournament you're allowed to ban the same thing twice, at least not in a row. I imagine if you're on the side of Vicious Vanguard, you'd want to ban out the Winston. Try and force the mirrored Malga or the mirrored Hazard, something like that. If you're on the side of a Hive, maybe a ban out the Reaper. The Reaper was certainly a real game changer. Obviously they're gonna want to keep the Tracer up. Maybe you ban out the Genji. Kyle's Genji was certainly pretty strong. I wouldn't want to have to deal with it, but maybe I don't know if they do get first ban, but if they do get first ban, they might just want to ban out the Hazard, as that kind of allows them to keep their opportunity for the Winston alive. Kind of protect bans it a little bit. Maybe they'll even go and ban out that Ana or the Brig. That way they can force the Wu Kiri again. But who knows? I sure don't. If we do go to a map 5, it will be up to Suravasa. So there's definitely going to be a I don't know, that's not on the map sets sheet, but for anyone watching, that would be what we do end up coming down to if 5 maps is going to be on the cards. But I'd imagine that this one's going to be ending relatively soon, especially if it does go to Esperanza. certainly a little bit of a more dive favored map. So if you're going to be on the side of Hive, you're going to be really thankful for that. Eichenwald, though, actually, now that I look at it, that was their map pick, Hive. So Vanguard was the ones that went to Esperanza. Diva's going to be the first character banned. So I'd imagine that's probably to protect the Winston, especially since Diva into Winston is very strong. Since Diva just gets to match it a little bit better. And you get your rocket boosters, which is going to be able to allow you to keep up with the dive from the Winston. So you just kind of get to constantly match them. We'll see whether or not the same bans from last game is going to be seen. Freya, I'd imagine is something you'd want to ban out on a map like Eichenwald, as Freya is a character that does find success here, as there's a lot of verticality for you to set up on. But yeah, we will just have to keep on deliberating. Both teams certainly going to want to try and win this map, but Hive definitely going to be taking it to a bit of an extend at the start.
Initiating match.
It makes a lot of sense. Hive's going to start on the defense. They want to be able to close this out quick and easy. Vicious Vanguard going to be taking up the spot as the Junker Queen. Kyle going to keep up with... Oh, that looks like they want to run a Pharah Mercy along with a Cassidy. I mean, certainly not something that makes the most sense in my eyes, but we'll see if they can find success over on the side of Hive. Gonna be dropping in with a... Oh, what are we doing? Pharah Mercy with the Widow. Definitely not the most conventional composition. The Vicious Vanguard, maybe they have some strat up the book. Not totally sure where the Widow's gonna set up. Is the plan to go up towards bridge? Maybe. Oh, no, they're playing yeah, they just took a bit of a peek out and then back up instantly. Swapping over to Symmetra. Not the most conventional pick either, but oh, and the swap's going to be coming out from there as well. I think the Sojourn makes a lot of sense. It's a pick you really do expect to see. Maybe you've seen Murder for Fun take the first, and then take the second. Res comes out, recall extended. A bit of a Sojourn diff coming on in. Vicious Vanguard can be forced back up into the spawn room. Not able to find the stagger just about yet, but Hive, they are just going to concede this aggressive stance they have taken, instead backing up a little bit. Vicious Vanguard going to be making some more swaps. Actually going to be going over towards the Roadhog. They got a little bit of buff. Certainly going to be seeming like it will be able to pay out dividends. Zimif already down. 4v5 situation found. Cold Vibe's almost taken out already. Actually, it's going to be one of the players off the map. A little bit ironic. That was Kyle. See whether or not they'll find much. Hive going to be keeping up a bit of a protective stance on point, but right now we are going to be getting the antibiotic grenade. We'll find a lot of success over towards the Hazard. Dropping down to the low HP line. It won't matter. Astaroth is down for count. Zimif finds the next. Zoge's down. Cold Vibe's down. The Overclock paying out dividends as they are finding significant success, and that's going to allow them to be poised to be able to find another stagger. Kyle's going to be taken offline off of that. There's still only 2 minutes remain for the Vicious Vanguard. They were able to make a strong push in the last team fight, as they were able to make a 4v5 very, very swiftly. Unfortunately, that just did not go their way. They swap over Kyle from the Pharah over towards the Mei. And we'll see what they are going to be inevitably able to find. right now, though. Both DPS at around half HP for the side of the Vicious Vanguard. Won't matter. Murder for fun. Down. Sim looking to try and find a little bit of aggression. They have the pulse bomb in hand. There is going to be a double kill coming in from Zimp, and that is also going to be the Hazard ult. Pressing is down. Zimp finds a triple, make it a quadra, as Zimp is going to be able to make a looking for the penta of real reality. Unfortunately, Frosty Dolph is going to be able to seal that one away, but they do end up getting a little bit of a 5k in their own right, being able to approach it. Hive still having 2 ults in the bank. Vicious Vanguard, same situation. That'll be 3. Looking towards Bazaar. Playing towards the high ground. Astrolog pushing in. 96 towards the whole hog, but Zimp already finds the first. Going to be able to collect the second. Trying to get the third, but everyone is starting to pressure the back lines. Now Hive is just going to be able to walk down on the Vicious Vanguard while everyone is dropping like flies. Trying to get the hook. Able to collect, but they might fall instead. Oh, a big health pack is going to be able to allow them to mitigate the damage. Not for long, as Cold Vibes is down for the count. Zimp staying in the back line. They are going to still have that pulse bomb. Might be inevitably ready to lock it in as we're increasing the beat. And actually, Frosty Dolph is going to drop even with it. They are going to be falling down to the opposing Sojourn. Asphalt finds another. Zimp down. We're going to be getting a lot of ults invested from the side of Hive. They drop into Overclock. They drop into Kitsune Rush. Bizarre is going to find one. They want to keep on going aggressive, but the whole hog keeping their opponents mitigating the way to the point as they are going to be stalling this out. Looking like it could be good. Overtime has been reached, but Asphalt is down. They are going to be able to get a little bit of healing as we are going to be seeing the Kitsune Rush as well as the cleanse focusing up in. Asphalt's going to fall. We get to see Blizzard coming in, able to cape out a couple of players that might bring the Vicious Vanguard to another team fight. Ult comes in from the Hazard, going to be going into the Ice Block form as they keep alive. The Reaper coming back on into the play. Now we're going to be seeing the recall coming out. There's going to be Sorks able to find one. Sorks with a double! And that double kill is going to be allowed to see Hive with a full hold. Almost losing it out though. Very, very close.
0-0. Switching sides.
Certainly not the best situation one could have imagined, as that's going to be showing a bit of a rough spot, to say the least. For the Vicious Vanguard, they must full hold, or else they are going to be put down onto match point. If you're on the side of the Hive, match point is what they're looking for, and all they got to do is secure those 3 little ticks. And yes, those ticks are going to be bigger than the ones you see in real life, but it's certainly something very feasible to them. We see them going over towards the Widowmaker, as well as that they're going to be locking in the Tracer, the Hazard as well. Same support composition. Oh, no, there's no way, right? There's no way they run a Lucio Mercy. I mean, if they actually do run that, I will be, I'll give them a hats off for sure. Would be a crazy thing to come in with, but I mean, I just want to see some craziness. I don't know how feasible it is going to be, but right now, Hive coming on in. 5 seconds remaining, and they're running it. No swaps by the looks of it. Oh, and they baited till the last second. Unfortunate. Swapping over to beat Kiriko. I was really looking forward to seeing whether or not they would fully going with the Mercy of Lucio, possibly the worst healing composition in the entirety of Overwatch. And it's been like that for a long time. The lack of synergy, so unimpactful. Zimp finding the first, certainly being an impactful player in their opponent's backline. Sork's going to be able to find the next. Getting the double kill. Bizarre's going to be down as well. Blends in. It's going to be all up to this Ice Block to be able to halt the point. Stalling it out, but stalling is just for a second. 4 players on point. Coming back on the Wrecking Ball, looking to bide their time, but unfortunately, Hive is just going to be instantly running their opponents down. That will bring them to a game number 3 as they instantly take game 2 in dominant fashion.
Play of the game.
Yeah, I think a 3-0 is probably just going to be what we're going to see tonight. As I don't know, after you get full held like that, you got to imagine the mentality is going to be in the dumps, as well as the actual gameplay. I mean, it's certainly going to be rough. I know as a player myself, it's been a situation where I've been in a couple of these scenarios. Down, what was it, 4 minutes and 8 to 1 minute? And, I mean, comebacks, they're tough. Never impossible, but always tough. Well, at this point, certainly seeming like the series is going to be over. Map 3 bans are going to be upon us sooner rather than later. We'll have to wait and see whether or not the same bans are going to come out. You'd imagine that at a certain point, we're going to be seeing a change. The Diva ban has been consistent throughout this entire series. Wu Yang as well, going to be the ban in game number 2. We actually are going to be seeing the Reaper ban, so that has been taken off board, which makes a lot of sense. Reaper was certainly an impactful character in the previous couple maps, but last game we didn't see it at all, so it is a little bit interesting we didn't see it at all this time, or that we're seeing it banned, I guess. And the response, you'd imagine, Diva, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, I don't know. I think if this goes to Dorado, then yeah. The side of Hive probably going to win that. I mean, their composition just seems so adept when it comes to maps. So, like these ones with a lot of verticality. So, Esperanza, similar situation for sure. But this one, you got to imagine somewhere cards are being shown. I mean, the Winston is just being so potent for this roster. They've been able to find so much success time and time again. To imagine that they're going to be faltering here, it's a little bit of a fever dream for a lot of teams thinking, yes, this isn't going to work at this time. And I think for the most part, we're really just going to be looking for a little bit of a change. I want to see a bit of a swap up, and maybe you want to try and run something like the Ramatra as being able to shoot through the shields is going to be nice when you're in that are in that little bit of a monsters phase. But right now we're going into Esperanza. Third map is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Going on into Esperanza for our third and final possible map. Maybe we will be seeing that reverse sweep coming on in, but you gotta imagine that a reverse sweep just not gonna be on the cards. Oh, actually, it was a hog ban. That's interesting. We haven't seen any hog too much either. We saw a little bit last map, but definitely makes sense for Hive to ban it out if they want to run the Winston once more, as hog is pretty decent into something like that Winston. As Hive is going to be possibly running it with something crazy. I won't believe it till I see it. Vicious Vanguard honestly might be running something crazier. The Kiri Moira. Not something I'm too familiar with. And the Genji Tracer to go along with it. I mean, I can't say it's the worst composition I've ever seen. And oh my god, both teams are running out on it. Huh. Well, I mean, I can't say that I trust either of these support comps, but I will, I'll go with it till they prove me wrong, I suppose. Alright, first kill's going to be the Vicious Vanguard. Going to be dropping down a little bit early as they are going to be going in. Maybe this was why the Diva ban was so interactive, as it was taken 2 times within the series, and now it's going to be a third. First kill's going to be there. Astrolot is down for count as Hive takes 2 points a little bit further. They have a little bit of a start that you really can't be allowing from the side of Vicious Vanguard. You allow them to gain this momentum, certainly could be detrimental. The Wrecking Ball gets swapped on and for Vicious Vanguard. They're going to be looking to make a little bit of success. They do have full utility on the line, so if they need to drop in a little bit of shields to keep themselves alive, that survivability is certainly going to be there for the side of the Hive. I mean, the support comp's certainly not looking amazing, as there isn't a lot of burst healing options for them, but pushing the Genji up with the fight. Kyle's going to be shut down. Trux finding this early aggression. There's going to be the slam. Pile drive, very, very nice. TP coming on in, as they are going to be trying to target some of these supports. And look at this. Shots coming in from Sorts. Going to be murdered for fun to fall down. There's going to be the checkpoint reached. They are going to be seeing a couple players falling. Bizarre going to be able to find one. Trade comes in. Frosty Dolph down for the count. Seems as if Superior Ghost is going to be the next target prioritized, as Bizarre finds them out. It's going to be the Moira who's next on the chopping block. But right now, Zymph is just going to be able to back off. Kyle finds the trade, looking to keep on going as Hive, they're bringing themselves back up on. They want to try and poise themselves, be able to stage up towards the high ground, going to be able to do just that. They look towards the pinch, not allowing this checkpoint to be captured. And that's going to keep them with better spawn points. There's the mines dropped into the fray. As both teams going on in. Zymph able to find the next. Cold Vibes with Coalescence offline. They do have this recall if needed. 60 HP. Recall being forced for both teams. The Vicious Vanguard going to be looking like their next player is going to be dropping. Bizarre going to be able to find that kill onto the opposing support. However, not for long. Bizarre is going to be falling down to the ground. Trying to get full bomb. Not able to connect. 64 HP is all they're going to be left with. Not going to be dropping in the recall just about yet. Looking to keep that in the pocket if necessary. Valkyrie comes on out. Murdered for fun. Going to be trying to get that survivability for the rest of the squad. A little bit of a dive towards their opposing Tracer. Keeping themselves alive for a little bit. The overclock able to take down Kyle. The peel is very nice. Now it's going to be looking very good as Tech is taken down. Astral as well. Kira JJ going to be down for the count as well. 6 minutes and 55 seconds as Hive is looking to just take this game and run with it. There's the beat coming into play. Bizarre looking to take the front of this point. Old Bomb gets active. Frosty Doll finds the first. Coalescence into the fray as well, and they're going to try and be able to equalize this. Both teams dropping in the mines. Interacting with the battlefield as they're using Frosty Doll, trying to get a bit of a good spot in, and they are going to be able to knock their opponent off the map. The tank down for the count, dropping on the mines. Looking like Frosty Dolph almost in a really rough situation. Going to be put in the highlight reel. But as Sorks down for the count as they are going to be falling down to the opposing Tracer. Trying to get those shots in. Bizarre finally able to step on the Mega Pack, as that is something that almost was a really bad spot for them to be in. The Hive is pushing this further and further. 120% to 0. As Vicious Vanguard still unable to really take a team fight for the win. Pile driving coming on in. Kira JJ can be down with the count. Stucking on with the pulse bomb. Finally going to be able to find a good spot. That might be in their highlight reel. Who knows? As the Mercy is going to be going over the wall. We're going to be seeing the Pile drive up towards the high ground. Looking to target Murder for fun. Pile will fall. Bizarre able to find the kill. And now they're going to be targeting the Tracer. Won't keep on getting chased as Astronaut is down. They're going to be dropping in a little bit of utility as the ultimates are going. Czar is finding another. Cold Vibes tossed off and both taken down. Pile able to find one with the flex. The third is going to be dropping down. There's going to be the Dragon Blade trying to find the kill, but everyone runs away. Keeping them isolated, Pile is going to have to relinquish the Dragon Blade. Going in for a bit of an extensive position that we're going to be seeing the ball from the side of Vicious Vanguard in a really bad spot. HP drops a half. Kyle drops in their self at 6 feet under, and now Zimp is able to find that kill. They're going to try and go back up towards the point. 5v4 as Kyle's going to be down for at least a little bit longer. Cold Vibes finds another. There's going to be the overclock invested into the engagement, but right now it seems as if that's all they needed. They're poised to be able to take this game, and Vicious Vanguard is forced into their spawn. We see the Astrolot trying to get something done, but right now something done just doesn't seem to happen. There's a full spawn coming in from the Tracer on the side of Vicious Vanguard, but that's not all they're going to be able to get. We're going to be seeing the beat coming into play. Zimp is able to find a little bit of damage. Recall out. They do have a full spawn in the works, as that is something that they could go into play. But Bizarre finding 2, looking to end it here and now. The point is still contested, as we are going to be seeing the Genji taking a little bit of an action, but right now it's just going to be up to this Wrecking Ball and Kiriko. Both players low HP. As Tracer is coming back on into action, they are going to try and take the initiative, but unfortunately the initiative might not be enough as the break is swapped on into, but both players low HP. Cold Vibes down, and that's the point we've seen. Hive with a 3-0 win, taking their way through the lower bracket, and are going to be able to find a clean sweep.
This ends now. Headshot.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us once more over at the Annihilation Overwatch, and we will see you all later with more Overwatch events. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you all next time. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next time. Bye.